Hi everybody, and welcome back to Living Between Paychecks. I'm Oz. That's Jack.
And we have a light. I don't know if
Yeah, so if I'm a different color, if I look bleached out or something, we're experimenting with some new lights because we got some lights. Thank you to our Patreon people who helped us do that. We were able to get lights so we look less like we're filming in a creepy basement and more like a creepy kitchen, which fits, so bear with us. We're totally going to get into this soup. We're going to do a cabbage vegetable soup.
Redundant name, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just vegetable soup. It's cabbage based. Fucking vegetable cabbage soup sounds better. That fits better. Rolls off the tongue better. Before we get into that, be sure to like, share, subscribe, do all that kind of YouTube stuff. You're not new here, I hope. If you are, just like, share, subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. That really helps. Ring the little bell notification. You get a heads up every time we do this. And let's get into this. All right, so it's vegetables. Right, everything here is vegetable made. There's no meat stuff in any of this.
Ooh.
So get just a couple of carrots, a couple of things of celery, one big onion, some garlic, one or two. We're going to use 5 or 6. Half a head of the cabbage. Now you can use white beans or black beans. We use the black beans. Just our preferred taste to them. And then some fire roasted with the tomatoes.
Fire roasted tomatoes.
That one actually came with garlic in it. Going to need a little bit of thyme and some chili powder. Right, just to flavor, and then kosher salt as well. It's not mandatory, but if you like that stuff. Now, vegetable broth, you can use chicken broth, but we're trying to do all the vegetables. Like this is like actually we think it's like straight up vegan thing.
Yeah, I think it's vegan.
Wash all your stuff. Wash your vegetables, especially your celery. Like you'll have dirt and stuff in here where the roots are, and your carrots. These are roots. They go in the thing. Make sure everything's washed. So everything's nice washed, nice and cleaned off. There you go. You're ready to go. Now you're gonna have to chop all of this stuff up.
Lots
so
of
get you a good knife. Now, if you got like a cutting board, I don't have a cutting board. I couldn't find it. So if you got a cutting board, it helps just with the mobility. We're on the wooden cutting board here, but to cut up the different stuff and move it. Now, again, cut up your onion. Smaller pieces are better because it makes it where you can eat it with a soup. It's not have to use a fork or a giant ladle to be able to serve it. You know, that's fine. It's going to cook down to wilt. Now, just do the whole onion. Let's put it in there. It's going to look like onion soup for a while.
I hope you like onion because there's a lot of onion.
It smells good. Why not? It's all vegetables. It's supposed to be healthy for you.
We like vegetables because it's all
this is cabbage soup. This is kind of stuff that Charlie Bucket and them lived on. This is why Grandpa Joe couldn't get out of bed.
Who the hell is Charlie Bucket?
Dude, ain't you never watched Willy Wonka? You are new at this. All right. So go ahead and chop up your garlic as fine as possible. Like I said, you can use some big chunks and just do a little bit, or you can use like this, like the big piece. I like that kind of stuff. Some people don't like that in their soup, so just go ahead, give it a little cuts, knock it down. Now your lettuce, like you said, it looks kind of like a brain, so it's already kind of wrapped around. So if you cut it across that, it's going to turn it into little bitty strips, and you're good. So just take it, lay it down across from where your the root is, the butt of it, and then just cut it long ways. Boom, and you'll have like shredded cabbage to go in your soup instead of the big leaves. Big leaves are nice. We've done one with like that before. You can catch a link down the doobly-doo for that one. We love our cabbage soup, especially our Ellen soup. Shout out to our buddy who gave us the idea for that one. But just go ahead and cut this up. Now it's gonna look like it's nothing but cabbage.
I mean,
it is
vegetable. So.
No. Now, when you cut up your carrots, like you can use these big pieces, it's not going to make them incredibly soft because you're not going to do this for hours like you're doing it in a thing. Now, you can cut it in half and do it smaller pieces. I just cut it in big chunks like this. Now, throw out the eyeball.
The end?
Yeah, when where the leaves grow out of it, which is this is a root thing. And I just cut it down and leave it in this big round pieces. Now, your celery, you can cheat. Just put it on top of each other, and then just whack it down and it cuts there. And it only goes so far. Then you got to set it side by side. Now, let's try not to cut off my finger doing that because I was running out of cutting board. So we're using a Dutch oven, number 8 Dutch oven. Now you can use a big pot, do whatever, but we got one of these. We got a link down the doobly-doo on how we clean the cast iron that we use. You can check this out. It's got the little points on it for the drips. That's pretty cool. So get you a little bit of olive oil and just put it down on the bottom. So there's supposed to be like 2 tablespoons of it.
Some obscure amount.
So, your celery, your carrots, and your onion. They're the only thing that goes in right now, right? Get those in there, get them nice and coated, covered. And here's where you can season it. Now, you can put the chili powder in it. Like, we like it spicy, so we use a lot of the chili powder. And then later we'll use some pepper flakes. Now, kosher salt. Don't need too much of this because
there's already a lot of salt in the broth.
And broth is going to be just like total saline. So you don't need to do a lot like we did. But that's where most of your flavor gets pulled out of this. So get it nice and stirred, nice and covered and coated with the oil. And then you're going to let this go for about 5-6 minutes. at least until it starts wilting a little bit, until it gets soft. The carrots ain't going to get soft. If you're going to go to that, you're going to be cooking this, frying this up on a skillet with caramelized onions and stuff for an hour and a half. Carrots just don't want to do that in this.
You know, I will probably not be against that.
So yeah, carrots are hot, and they're mean, and they're angry, and no matter how much you yell at them, they're still going to be that way. Sorry about my rattling watch. That's my D&D watch. There's dice in it, so it rattles. So if you hear that, it's on me. So while you do that, you got your can of beans. Go ahead and strain those.
Please strain them.
Yeah, it's got some horrible grossness in there. Now dump those out. Now you see, yeah, just get them all out of there. And now that lid, don't leave that lid in there. That's Frank's law. Remember to take that lid off right there. Right? Be sure to pull it off. Because if you don't, man, if it's in the trash can, it can reach out and cut your leg, stuff like that. Says our buddy Frank showed us how that happens. Nobody else in this kitchen did that, so we don't do that. So when you put your beans in, go ahead and throw in your garlic. Right? And you're going to put your thyme in here too. But you're going to stir it around a little bit. And we're supposed to cook it for, well, what was the actual instructions? Until the garlic gets fragrant. Well, the garlic starts out fragrant, right? So
yeah,
it takes like 30 seconds, right? So just stir it around in the heat for 30 seconds. You kind of smell it. So get your water. And it's 4 cups of water. I forgot to mention that. I'll put that down in the recipe in the bottom. 4 cups of water, and then your broth, which is another 4 cups.
It's also 4 cups.
All right, so if you don't want so much, you can cut down the water. But the broth is a big thing. If it's chugging like that, just take a knife, poke a hole in it, and it pours right out. Kitchen hacks, yo. For the guy that's just stab happy. That's just all that is.
That Dutch oven is starting to look a little on the full side.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you got a bigger one or you got a cauldron or whatever, that's fine. So make sure it gets stirred. Now you got your heat at about medium high, right? That's where we get it done. So you cook it until it starts to simmer, not stimmer, sorry.
Simmer.
And you see these little bubbles and stuff in it, right? Once you get it down there, then you add your tomatoes. Now we cheated and got the Rotel tomatoes, like you could take and dice them yourself. And then you put your tomatoes and your cabbage in last. You just add it in your hand, make sure it doesn't splash, don't scrape it all in there. You're going to splash and get hot soup all over you, which is a bad idea. Trust me, I've
You don't
been
want
there.
that.
So get your shredded cabbage, just poke it in there. I always grab the inside of the cabbage last because it's like hard and, you know, tasteless. I don't like the flavor. Like the green cabbage is okay. The white stuff on the inside, not a giant fan like those. Like I'll go ahead and put them in there. Now you're going to cover it and let this simmer for 15, 20 minutes. Use your fake hand to catch the lid. I learned this the hard way. I got branded by that damn thing. I got an 8 on my knuckle.
It gets very hot.
And you're going to cook this until your cabbage starts getting limp, okay? So just keep letting it cook, let it simmer, like let it sit at medium. Now it's going to stay hot forever. Now, if you want to season it anymore, if you got anything that's a little thing like this, like chili pepper flakes, man, we put this in here. Like, I don't trust the shaker. I just pour it in there.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, chili pepper. And then if you got some parsley to decorate it, yeah. That was half a head of parsley. Just went ahead and put it in. And you're going to put that in for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Let that boil a little bit. Put it in your bowl. You're done. Like, that's all it takes. 2 or 3 minutes worth of that. And that's what you got. It's super aromatic. This one was actually spicy because of the chili powder and the
Yeah, it was
the
a
pepper
lot more
flakes we put in.
spicy than I figured it would be.
This was really good, really cheap. Whole bunch of stuff. This cost us what? Like $5 at the most.
If you're
It
in
took
the healthy
20,
food,
30 minutes
there you go.
to do it. It's super healthy, apparently, except for the salt.
Yeah, I
But
figured.
it feeds 10 people easy. So there you have it. Cabbage soup. From what I understand, it's vegan. Unless you throw in a big hunk of meat to annoy your vegan friends. But it's done. It's great. It smells outstanding. Tastes even better. We'll get to it. Now, be sure to find us here on YouTube anytime, but we upload Tuesdays and Fridays. You can also find us on Instagram or Facebook, Pinterest, and what's the other one? Patreon. Patreon if you want to help us out at Living Between Paychecks Kitchen there. At Instagram, we're at Living Between. You can find us there. And we'll see you next time.